One. Okay. Trade around some of our positions. If you're a follow us, you know we bought Pan American Silver a couple of weeks ago. Well, it hit a short-term target. We sold it out. Pan American, we sold it out yesterday. Let me just find it for you and I'll show you the way we're thinking. Okay. You know, you have a bunch of them on, so it gives you flexibility. We bought Pan American Silver down here. Okay. And then what did it do? It went to our target. What's our target? I'm going to show you. You know, you read things. Okay. Isn't that a target? Look at that. Where did we sell our Pan American Silver yesterday? Right there. Okay. So you grab it here, sell it there. We got a whole bunch of gold and silver stocks on. So you could trade around a few of these. This is how you accumulate. This is how you build up your bankroll. So that's just a couple of examples. You know what, guys? We're in the, what is today? 24th, 25th. So we're 25 days into January. We're up over 20%, closer to 25%. Why? By trades like this, nothing has really hit. The stock market is not showing direction. You know, we made a couple of videos that we're bearish Apple. Okay, so if Apple is bearish, then you got Nvidia bouncing into failure areas. We talked about this a few times. Well, let's go to Apple because we made a clip about this one. And last week we spoke about it. We said, what we want to see in Apple, we want to see a bounce into a failure area. Look at Apple. We haven't been bullish, we've been bearish. Okay, now you get the extension, you get a bounce, and this is a failure. So if it works its way lower and you get through this area, you can get another amount lower. Now listen, it doesn't mean we're bearish in Apple. It just means we think the next move in Apple could be lower. I think Apple is a very sensitive stock to the market. So if you see Apple start to go lower, then the whole market gets some ripple effects. That creates opportunities. So it's not like we're always bullish things or always bearish things. We just look where we think the next move will be. Now, what does that do? It rolls into Nvidia, rolls into Tesla, rolls into all the big name stocks. And when they start to bounce, everybody gets euphoric. But if they bounce and they get into these areas that fail, which is what we look at all the time, belong to the group, you see it. I'll show it to you on some of the chat. Okay, things are bouncing into failure areas, and what do? If they turn, then they become that's when they become bearish. When something bounces and fails, that's more bearish than the first down move because everybody feels like they're caught in a trap. Times one or times two. That's the way we look at the markets, and it's been working. We don't have any strong views in it. We don't have enough of a view that we're married to anything. We're trading around positions. You know, 20% start in January. I think we're a lot higher than anybody else is right now. People right now are trying to just stay above sea level. All right, we'll take a few questions, and then we'll go into a lot more that I got to talk about.
All right, guys. Post your trading questions in the chat below. Any stocks you want us to analyze, post in the chat. And we'll see what comes up here. We'll take a look. Okay, so we have a lot of questions on rig and nat gas.
Good. Well, you know, on nat gas position, and we actually just talked about this. In nat gas, if you remember, we thought nat gas down at this $192 area was the wrong price. Now you extended. The market squeezed itself. Then you got some weather. Nat gas right around here. This is untradeable. So I don't think you should be trading nat gas anywhere around here. This is going to make you bullish. This is going to make you bearish. And you're going to look up and down. You're going to say to yourself, what am I doing? I'm putting myself in a blender. So nat gas is digesting this because if you get a little bit of warm weather or a little bit of non-bullish weather, it comes right off. Then you get a little weather down the road, it goes right higher. We don't think natural gas is going down around here anymore. We think natural gas is going to find a spot here, maybe extend. We like natural gas, but we won't trade it in this mess. And this is when you're going to lose money because the price is going to dictate your opinion. It's supposed to be the other way around. Your opinion is supposed to dictate price. This is when you, what we say, piss away a lot of money. Try to avoid nat gas until you see something that gives you conviction. We don't see conviction in here.
What would be the ticker for this for people who don't know futures?
Okay, this is NG, that's the electronic, February natural gas. Now, first of all, if we're going to look at natural gas, we're going to be looking at the March contract. Okay, why? Because the market has different prices and you're going to earn some backwardation. This is February, just to give you a gauge. Think about it. Natural gas was trading $2. Now it's trading $4. And people that are bullish are getting caught. So watch yourself here. That's February natural gas.
All right.
What was the other one you asked?
Rig.
Okay, now rig, you know, is it's our only oil position right now. Why? Because we think oil can pull back a little more, and rig is a long-term position. Okay, we said that from day one. It's our largest position. We've traded around everything else except rig. We still think rig inevitably going to wind up going not a little higher, a lot higher. Okay, so I have my entire position. I'm very comfortably in long rig, but we traded around all the other oil stocks we had on. We had Valero, cashed it out. We had DVN, cashed it out. We had ExxonMobil, cashed it out. Okay, and now we're looking to put them back on. We sold ExxonMobil. If you belong to the group, you know the targets. Well, our target was 112, 112 and a half. What do we get up to? Right here. 112 to 113, sold the whole thing out. We're done. Now we'll look for spots. If you belong to the group, you're going to see where our spots are because we think this is going to get attractive again. Same thing with Valero. Same thing with DVN, starting to fall into a spot. So this is the way we trade around our positions. But rig, we like a lot.
Okay, next one here is NVIDIA.
NVIDIA. Same thing. I think it's fallen into a trap. Okay, we're not bearish. We're just not bullish. There's a difference. Okay, it means in my opinion, means you don't trade it. Now, this was the biggest trap at the beginning of the year. We came back sharply, and now we're bouncing. We bounce into what we call the failure area. So we bounce into this failure area. The same thing we did in Apple. So if the market comes in lower, then we think it tries down here again. But from this first time here is a lot different scenario than if we go down here this time. Let me clean this up a little bit and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this move to here to this move to here is a pretty serious move. If you go up here and you fail, and you start to come down, then when you get down here, the market's more dangerous on the downside. And if you remember, Guy's been calling NVIDIA unbelievable. Guy's been doing this for about a year and a half. Why? Because what happens here? You get this new high and you get this failure area. You get this new high, you get this failure area. Okay, you get the new high, you get the failure area. Okay, so you see all those? Okay. Now, you get the new high, and where are we now? We're at the failure area. Because every time that happened, look what happened. Down, down, down. Okay, so we think that's going to happen again. Okay, so let it finish. What's the difference if the failure area is here or if it's here? Because if it goes down, you're going to get a nice move. So instead of looking for a 30-point move, you may get a 22, 23-point move. I got no problem with that. I'd rather have conviction. But look at the scenarios. They seem to be the same. I brought this to my attention, and I think it's going to be there again. I think NVIDIA can go lower first.
Okay, next question from Jason Witt, live cattle and grains.
Okay, live cattle. We just talked about live cattle, and we've been saying this for a while. The cattle market is at an all-time high for the price of beef. Okay, we don't think that problem can be fixed. Okay, we have not been bearish cattle. We look for cattle every time it pulls back to grab some and hold on longer term. Right now, it just keeps going, and it's going quietly, which is worse because you look around and you say, well, commodity prices are okay. They look a little calm. They're not. We're approaching an all-time high in gold. We have an all-time high in cattle. You see natural gas is starting to go. We just had an all-time high in coffee. Cocoa had an amazing move last year. One by one, these commodities are starting to go. So you got to watch yourself. I think cattle, inevitably, we're going to hit a problem, and we're not even seasonal yet. What happens when we get seasonal? What was the other one besides cattle?
There was grains.
Grains. Grain market is back and forth. Okay, we traded around the grains, and we want to continue to do that. Okay, but now we have a dollar opinion. I'm going to talk about that in a while because the dollar, if currencies start to move, they're going to affect the grain market. I think the bean market is the one that's going to get more affected. We had beans on, we sold it out, we cashed in. If beans pull back, and the way we look at the dollar, if we're going to be right, we're going to be looking to put beans back on. Okay, we're also going to be looking to put wheat back on. Not yet. People, the part of the group, we just caught beans, Chicago wheat, and Kansas City wheat at the beginning of the month. So it was a nice trade. People go, when are we getting back in? There is no rush. Okay, I use the different grades of wheat as a gauge. Okay, so this is, think about it. We had the wheat on, we sold it, we caught it, and now we're waiting to put it back on. But you got to watch all the grains. You got to watch all the different kinds of wheat, and that gives you a better feel. You don't just buy it because it goes back down here. There's got to be a reason. So we're waiting for our reasons. We like grains, but we want the grains to come to our prices.
Okay, let's see. Next one we have here is Baba.
Alibaba. Okay, we put a day trade on last couple of days ago. We said Baba was good for a nice 2 or 3 day trade. We cashed it in, and now it's actually holding very well. Okay, if you remember if you belong to the group, you got all these on. You remember we said Baba down here at 82 could probably get you 85, 86 on a Friday. Well, that's exactly what it did. So we caught a nice 2 to 3 day trade. Now it pulled back and held very well. Feels like it could go, but it's got to get through these areas. Okay, but Baba does look good here. We don't have it on. We took our money and we ran because it was a day trade. But Baba looks okay.
Next one, FCX.
Freeport. Freeport's given a good test down here. It's got a hold here very well. This I don't mind, because if this is an extension and it rejects, then we should bounce quickly. It should have closed a little better yesterday. Okay, we're in from around here. That's fine. It don't make a difference where we're in from, what our opinion is. But we got the line, we got the test. So if Freeport's going to work, it's got to work this week. If we sit back around here, then we're probably going to be wrong. I like Freeport. I think Freeport's going to go. You're in a good value area. It's come down. You're taking a lot of people out of the market, which is what you want to do. You don't want that elevator full. So I like Freeport here.
We have people asking about Meta.
Meta. Well, I don't have a strong view, because the story behind Meta is just incredible. So every time you try to find a reason to get a little bearish, I don't think you can. So if you have it on, you just got to let it run. I mean, look at this thing. I don't have a trading opinion at all. I wouldn't get involved in here either way. But there's a few times where I've seen bearish signals and none of them will work. That's why I won't trade it. But this looks incredible.
Valley.
Valley?
Yes,
Okay.
VALE.
Valley, one of our largest positions. It's getting very constructive. Let me look over 1 second. Yes, we did. Now, you know, we have our 3 largest positions is Valley, Rig, and SBSW. So we don't want to put on more. We put on more Valley. Why? Because we started cashing in on some of our other positions, and we just concentrated on Valley as one of them. This is also one that I think can, if the dollar does what I think it's going to do, it's going to be sensitive to Valley. So we think Valley looks good enough that we even overrode and added on more. Now think about it. We were all in Valley, and we still found a way to add another piece this week. Valley looks good. And if the dollar starts to move like I think it will, then this is going to get recalibrated. And I think Valley is really going to go. Now, don't forget, guys, I've been wrong. I haven't been right on Valley. So every time I sit there and I'm drawing circles, they haven't made me any money. But I'm waiting. If I am right, and all these times I'm wrong, we will make back on one position. This has got room if it goes. Okay, I like Valley. We added on to an all-in position, which is something I never do, but I did it this week.
All right, next one, AMD.
AMD. Okay, AMD actually bounced to a failure area. Okay, we liked AMD. It extended down and bounced well, but it bounced to an area that it failed. So I would watch myself at AMD. Let me just find it first.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Okay, tell me where I'm going to go.
Left, right. Down.
Gotcha. Thank you. Okay, this bounced to a failure area, so I would watch myself here. Okay, we thought it was going to hold here, and then it washed people out and held very well and went to the big failure area and didn't hold. So I would watch myself here. I think you got a shot to trade lower again on AMD. There's no reason to get involved, in my opinion. When I see this, because everything that's set up here means this thing should have went to at least here, and it couldn't even get up there. So I would be a little cautious being long AMD.
Okay, next one's from, let's see, Dollar Cochina, UNG.
One of our favorites. Always has nice things to say. UNG, that's our natural gas. We like UNG because now you're going to start to get paid, but there's no reason to rush into it. Okay, I just showed you how natural gas is just making a lot of noise with a big range. So wait for it to come to us. We're definitely going to be looking at UNG to buy it. Okay, but because we're going to be earning on it. But we don't just want to buy it here because if the weather changes, it could easily go back down here. We've seen this before. So why do we got to be a hero here? If it goes higher, we're going to miss it. But I'm looking for UNG to get into areas that are attractive when I see natural gas get to the spot. So we do like UNG. We don't have it on. We want to buy it at our spots.
Next one, UU.
Yes, that's what we have on. That's what we want to add on to. Uranium, remember the beginning of the year, we talk about flows that come in. And there's flows in every sector. The edge is when the flows stop after the first 7 to 10 days. Then the markets start to pull back. If there's a second wave of flows in that sector, that's important. And I think we got a second wave of flows in uranium, where I don't think we've got them in lithium and the other sectors. So that's why we like UU even more now, because it feels like there's another wave of uranium money coming in. So we have it on and we want to add. And I think that looks pretty good. but we want to add at our spots. Okay. This is the new money coming in at the beginning of the month, and then it pulls back, and that's what we wanted to see. I think we got it on at a good spot. I think it's down from around here. We want to add more, but we want to wait for it to go here. But if you get a second wave, like I think we're seeing in flows in uranium, this has got room on the upside.
All right, guys. If you like our lives, give us a bunch of likes. We're currently live on TikTok and YouTube and Rumble. So, guys, if you want to see us on other platforms, we will be live, going live on those platforms also. Let's go back. And people on YouTube, if you want to ask any questions in the chat, put some questions in the chat for us. Next one we have up is SBSW.
Okay. Told you about the three largest positions: Valley, Rig, SBSW. We actually cashed in our palladium this week. You know what we do? We're going to trade around palladium. We buy palladium at cost of production, trade the futures. It got to our spot, which was right here. Cashed it out. We sold all our palladium out. Nice 2-week trade. Palladium, part of the PGMs. Another one that we like longer term because we think the fundamentals are turn are platinum. We think platinum is going to be one of the interesting metals this year. Platinum rejected down there and it's holding very well. So palladium's holding. Went held up cost of production. We like platinum. So what does that do? It makes us very bullish. SBSW. Now, being bullish and being right are two different things. I'm sure if you have SBSW on, you know what I mean. Because I've been bullish and it hasn't been right. But I still think it's going to work. Okay, this looks good, but I've seen this before. Okay, so I'm not getting. I need conviction. Okay, I've seen setups like this, and I'm sure I've seen a few here, and it looks like I saw a few here, and I'm sure I was giving you my opinion was we're getting ready to go. We're getting ready to go. This looks like we're getting ready to go, but I'm not saying it anymore until it goes. I have my entire position. It's finally starting to look good. Palladium's encouraging because it's going. Platinum, I think, is a different story that it hasn't had on in over a decade. So that's all these things are bullish. Now what we got to do is get this thing to click, because if it does click, we're holding this. So all the aggravation that we had putting this on, you know, I see very few targets up here. I think this one can really, really go. I'm all in SBSW. I'm not going to sit there and tell you again and then look like I'm wrong again, because I very easily could be. But if it goes, that's when I think our navigating is going to be better than anyone else's, because we're going to know how to capitalize on this.
All right, next one is Trox.
Trox, that's one of our long-term views. We added on. We're still looking to add on. That's not something we watch every day. It's something we're going to watch at different levels. So we've continually scaled into Trox. It looks like it's starting to turn, but it doesn't make a difference it's starting to turn because it's a longer-term play. Okay, this looks okay. Yeah, you got the extension. That's why we added on more. Okay, but it's not something that if it goes up to here, we're going to be looking at it. No. Okay, we're scaling in, scaling in, scaling in, scaling in, because we think 6 months from now, that'll be the only area we're going to look at. And then I think this thing is going to go. We like the sector. We think this is the way to play it. TROX.
All right, next one we have someone ask about Apple. A lot of people ask
Well,
about
we just
Apple.
spoke about it. We think we were bearish, and then we got a bounce, and we got bounced into a failure area. So we think there could be another leg down. We're not bearish where we're getting short. We just think where the next $7 to $10 is, and we think it's down in Apple. Okay, it's already down a good amount, and this is very influential on the overall market. Okay, you got from 260 to pretty much start the year. Now you're down at 220. Get back 40 points in Apple. This has been the cash cow forever. All of a sudden, people say, well, when they get their statements, why am I down? This is it, because everyone is long Apple. And our opinion is this was pretty short-term bearish. The fact that you bounced and failed. So if you get through here, we think Apple can have another wave down. Okay? And then maybe if you're a part of the group, you know what I do with Apple. I've traded Apple maybe 4 times in how many years? 4 years. Bought it in 120, 130, sold it at 230, 240. We were able to get that a couple of times. I sold out my Apple sometime in January this year, just because that's what I do, and I won't look at it again. But I actually think there's a chance of Apple pulling back more.
Okay, next one from Gunny Hartman.
Gunny, one of the best guys we ever had.
DVN.
DVN. Okay, that's one we want to get back into. We traded around it, worked out well. That's when we want to buy on a pullback. That's the closest one to our area in DVN. Okay, see it's pulling back. We think oil is not showing direction right now because you got a drill theme going on. Sorry about that, guys. But we also get into a point where the fundamentals will take over. So where you're going to have bearish news flashes, you're going to have real demand. So what do we want to do? We want to put our oil stocks right back on. DVN, we want to put back on. We're out of it. We cashed because it got exactly to our target. Exactly that. Now we're going to look at it here. And hopefully around here, we'll be looking at DVN to put it back on. We want to reload many of our oil stocks, but we don't think there's any reason to chase.
Okay, next one here. We're going to go over BA.
Boeing. Boeing's a tough one here. We haven't traded in a while. We caught it on the long side. We caught it on the short side. And now I think it's just going to put us in a blender. So you got good news, bad news. I wouldn't do anything right here. Okay, we caught this whole move up. And then we caught a 10-point move down. It was short term. It set up perfectly. And now it's just doing noise back and forth. It looks like inevitably it's going to go higher. But for me to initiate anything here with a 170, anywhere in the 170s, I won't do it. I need it to extend before I get it. If it goes up, it's going to go up without me.
All right, quick question. Someone's asked about what Valley stock. What's the ticker that you're talking about with Valley?
Yeah, VALE right here. Put it up.
Because they were typing out VALLEY.
No, VALE. Vale, I guess you can pronounce it that way.
Yep.
Pronounce it as Vale. That's the stock name, and it's the ticker stock, VALE.
All right.
Okay.
Next one here. Let's see. We have someone talking about Google.
Google's getting to a failure area, if you can believe it. It was on our screen the last 2 days. It's getting to an area where we think can fail. Okay, and I think it's right there. Now I'm looking more of these charts. This could go down right away. This is not bullish. Okay, if you belong to our boot camps, you know what I'm looking at. So I would say, if you ask me an opinion right here in Google, if I'm long, I will be getting out. I actually might even start initiating a short. It's in the failure area. It's got almost there. It was almost there on Friday. This tells me that Monday or Tuesday, if it finishes up, then this could come off. There's no way I'm buying Google here. I'm either getting out or getting short.
Okay. Do you have any analysis on NAS or no? Okay.
We put a trade on yesterday. There's part of the group, we avoid these ETFs. What we did yesterday, just for a day trade, and if you belong to the group, you know what I mean. We were bearish for the NASDAQ for a day trade, and we bought SQQQ. You look at our book, you don't see these things, but everything's set up nicely, and we bought it at around 10 or 11 a.m. and we sold it out around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Worked out nice. Why? What happened to the NASDAQ yesterday? We put that nice afternoon pullback. This is the deal. You won't really see it here, but this was a nice setup on the downside. So we bought SQQQ. We sold it. I think we made 60 cents on it just in a few hours. Okay, we don't trade this. Believe me, that's the first time I think we've traded SQQQ. Sometimes we talk about it. So I don't have strong opinions on the NASDAQ or the S&Ps because there's too many outside factors. So we try to cherry pick the ones I like. So I won't give you a strong opinion, but it just so happens yesterday we traded the NASDAQ, and we very rarely do.
Next one, PLTR.
I want to talk about Palantir. I have it circled. Okay, you know our opinion on Palantir. Okay, since here, all we've been saying, so we're going back to November. I'm a broken record. Do not sell. 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 Well, you know what, guys? It just hit a spot. It's here. I'm looking at my notes. If you have it on, you may want to sell some up here. The first time I'm saying sell something since here. Okay, this is nothing here. And you know what? You believe me, if you follow me, you know, do not sell. Now I'm actually saying this for the first time. If you have some, you may want to sell something up here. I think this can actually start to pull back a little. It's done everything, the way I read charts, the way I look at systems, the way I read momentums. I have a different way of reading things than others. It's the first time I got a signal that says you should sell some out, PLTR. We'll come back next week and let's see if we're right.
All right, let's see what else we got here. We went over AMD. We went over Apple. Let's see. Bungie. Someone's
Bungie.
asking about Bungie.
Yes, we like Bungie. Okay. The thing what we didn't do is we bought Bungie. Right. Remember, the line down. That the way we look at that. When we see that line down, that's interesting for us. So we bought Bungie. Watch it go all the way up here. Got a little greedy, waited for more, and it didn't get there. So I still got it on right around here. I think this is a good area right around here. I still do, because I think agriculture and non-energy commodities are still going to wind up being higher. So if they are, you want to have the non-energy equities. And I think Bungie is one. So I like Bungie right around here.
Okay, next one. So a lot of people asked about gold. I know we went over it in the
gold.
beginning.
Super bullish as you're approaching an all-time high again. Okay. I don't think I've ever changed my view in a while. I think the market finds little traps to get you out, to spook you. And because we got conviction, we aren't getting spooked. So what do we do when they wash out or pull back? We add more. We've been buying gold equities all month. And we think gold has got another wave coming. We actually think gold could get interesting this week. Why? Because you're approaching an all-time high. You're also approaching Chinese New Year, which shuts down a lot of part of that planet, and you're going to lose a lot of liquidity. So as you approach an all-time high, and we have an opinion on the dollar, you start to hit cyberspace, and anything can happen. So I think this is going to be a very important week in gold. We're super bullish.
Okay, let's see. Brad Songs is asking, is your chart screen a daily or 4 hour?
No. We don't go by minutes or hours. It's daily or more. Okay, we are not day traders, guys. We're directional traders. So we're not trying to find a good day trade. If you want to look for a 10-minute chart, a 30-minute chart, a 1 hour chart, those for day traders. Tell me how successful you are. We're directional traders, so we use dailies or longer.
Okay, next one. Mr. Plenty's asking about Tesla.
Tesla, same thing. I think these are traps. Okay, they look good, and everybody gets in, and then you look down and nobody made money again. I think it's happening again. Okay, listen, I never thought this was going to happen. Okay, so, listening to me up here, it's crazy. I thought we were going to sit here for a long time. This was incredible. Then this was pretty much the election incredibility. And then this was the inauguration juice. I think it's all going to breathe a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if Tesla goes all the way back down to these levels. Doesn't mean it's bearish. It just means that's probably where it should be. This is enthusiasm, euphoria, and fluff. I don't think that's really there.
Ed is asked about SA.
SA, it's one of our favorite gold stocks. We've been buying it all month, and we're probably still looking to buy more. I think SA gives you good gold exposure. And if we think gold's going to make a new all-time high, then we think this one is way cheap, and we've been buying it. We bought it 3 or 4 times already this month. We'll still be looking to do more. We're trading around. That's why we got a little bankroll, but we're concentrated on the ones we like. This is one we like.
Salvatore's asked about lumber.
Lumber. The only thing I would do with lumber is anyone who came near me, I would swing, hit somebody with it. I traded lumber for decades. Okay. All your fun, anything you want to trade in lumber, it doesn't make a difference. It's where the market wants to move it. So it's not, I don't want to say the word manipulated. I'm just saying, if you think you could figure out lumber, watch yourself. So I don't have an opinion to give you enough of an opinion in lumber. Just watch yourself.
Okay, what is your take in crypto right now for XRP and Bitcoin?
Look at Bitcoin. 100,000 is the number. XRP seems to be good support between 280 and 3, so it feels like it's going to hold there. I don't know what the next catalyst is going to be, but the next catalyst seems to be who's next to you that you're hitting their elbow going, we're going to go higher, we're going to go higher, we're going to go higher. I'm a little tentative on that. It doesn't mean it's going to go down. I just don't know what the next thing is going to make it go higher. And I look at some of the crypto stocks, and they don't look like the crypto prices, which tells me they're very, very heavy, very crowded. We know that because we were in them last summer, and we sweated them the whole way out. And we'd never want to be in a crowded trade. We think crypto stocks are crowded trades, so it's a little bit more of an overhang.
What are your thoughts on smart money concepts trading strategies?
I don't have an opinion.
Okay. Let's see. We have a lot of people asking about crypto. Do you have any REITs?
No, I don't. I think the real estate market's got to recalibrate a little bit. Okay, you see, some of the areas in Florida starting to fall apart. You're seeing land that's attractive in certain parts of the middle of the country. That's fine, but you got two-way stuff, no strong way either way. And the thing is, REITs were nice when interest rates were low, and the world seems to think that interest rates are going to go lower in the U.S. They may go lower, but I don't think inflation's going away. So if they don't, then lower rates are going to make it more buoyant. When you have higher rates or rates that are higher than they used to be, the real estate market is very tough. Just keep that in mind. It's kind of like you got to get a new playbook out if you want to trade real estate. So keep it in mind.
Okay, how about we go over silver?
Silver. I like silver. You know, we love silver. We think it's going to catch up, and we think it's going to go. Okay, but in the interim, silver is a speculative way of trading gold. And as you can see, you get noise, you get noise, you get noise. Okay, but where is it? It's right back at $31. We think silver inevitably is going to be a lot higher, but you got to do a lot of navigating, a lot of sweating if you want to catch silver. So what have we been doing? We've been accumulating silver equities all month. We've been buying SILV, EXK. We just traded around Pan American, Coeur d'Alene. There aren't too many good silver names, but we're trading around them and they've been making us money. But we are bullish. That word is always going to be in my mouth in silver. Going to be bullish.
All right. How about we go over the Discord real quick?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll show you exactly what we've been talking about this week. Okay. This is our Discord. We want to just go over things. Okay. Now this is yesterday. And then, well, you know what? I'm going to show you the trade we put on that we never did. You asked us about the NASDAQ. Yesterday, 23rd?
Yes.
Okay. So here we go. We've seen so many signals.
Actually, yesterday was 24th. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're going to go higher then. This is talking about the dollar. Okay, we think the dollar is going to pull back. We start giving our opinions. Okay, and then as you can see, the dollar actually has pulled back. We have a pop of that. Okay, we're looking at SILV. I told you we added these. We were bearish in Apple, went into the failure area. Look what happened. Apple closed on the lows. And I'm just going over as we go along. We keep adding to our gold and silver positions. What have I just been saying? There we go. I'm giving you commentary. Then we go to the next day, 24th. I have a whole opinion. Okay, same thing, failure areas, copper's holding well. And then what we do in late, like around 10 a.m., we decide to go short the NASDAQ, something we never do, but we did it. And it wind up clicking. Okay, cashed in our PIS position. I told you about that one. Okay, being patient. What do? We bought SQ, something we never do, but everything lined up. We went short the NASDAQ for the afternoon. What happened? NASDAQ broke down. From then until for the next 4 hours, we wound up cashing it in. We sold out there. We sold it out. Okay, sold it all out. Nice 3-4 hour trade. Make some money, move on. That's just a day trade that we very rarely do. What do we do in the interim? We get questions all day, trade alerts. Okay, sold out our Pan American. I told you about that. Valley, we're looking to add. SILV, SA. Look at the names. You talk about the names, they just happen to be here anyway. I'm not making this up. Brock, right? Think about it. Tech, one of our trades. EXK. Go through our trades. Futures. Well, futures, we've had some January. We've put on 9 future positions in January. We've taken off 7 of them. All 7 of them have been profitable. We have 2 left, and those 2 are profitable. So right now we have 9 straight profitable trades in futures. Why? We had a little bit of reweighting, something I've been doing for decades, so I should have a little bit of an edge reading between the lines here. So it worked out. So we made some money in commodities. So we have futures alerts, and you can see they're all here. What do we have? Questions all day. So we go through all day. People doing all right. And we got general chat. See what's going on. People put their opinions. We see what we got to do. Okay. And what do? When people do well, we get a lot of these thumbs ups in a lot of our trades lately because things seem to be working. Okay, thumbs up because we've got a nice little January so far. We have bots now. The bots starting to kick in. Okay, 2 weeks ago, all bots are as a batting average. Everybody's bots the same. They can tell you whatever the frig they want. I'll tell you something. It's a batting average. If you could hit 550, 600, I'm just using like a baseball analogy. You're gonna make a few dollars in the bots. But you're not going to have a bad week and you're not going to have a great week. You're just going to grind. 2 weeks ago, the bots finally had a 3% week. This week, they made it again. So when you have a couple of weeks in a row, the bots perform. Some of the bots are starting to fall into the sectors that we like, something that I have a little bit of experience. So instead of trading a single for a single, we're going to trade a single and try to make a double or a triple. So I think our performance in bots are going to be much better than others. Listen, if you guys trade bots, you're listening to me, you have to listen to me, you're going to look at your performance. I don't think you're making any money in bots right now. Okay? We're making some, and if we get into our areas, you're going to make a lot more. So talk is cheap. I always brought that up. Talk is cheap. Let's look at the numbers. Bots are getting ready to outperform other bots, and we have the right bots here. Okay, got all that. You know, we have a webinar on Thursday every morning with Guy Adami. It's been on fire. Unbelievable the calls he's been making. So what do? We take his macro views, we try to put them into micro views and find trading strategies. The guy really has an economic view, an overall view that is such an edge. And I just try to, someone gives me the ingredients and I try to figure out the recipe. That's what we try to do.
We have a question from Tony.
Yeah.
Do you teach how to swing trade, technical analysis, buying puts and calls?
No. Yes, I know how to do all that, and I don't think it's something you want. Swing trading, I'm not that much of a fan. I'm a directional trader because when you trade swing, there's no story. You're trading a chart. All you're trading are charts. You're trading numbers. You're not trading an opinion. So I'm not a fan of directional trading. I'm not a fan of day trading because all you're doing is trading numbers. We want to have something that we have a story. Why? Because if I lose money, I want to be able to explain why. If I make money, I want to be able to explain why. So if I have a story, it means I know about the company, I know about the stock, besides the numbers. Okay. And options, if you don't, I'm going to tell you, say what you want. Our number one winner, since we've been doing this, we have an option boot camp, teaching people how to price options before they get involved. And how many, unanimously, people have come back and says, boy, have you saved me a lot of money when I realize when I'm paying $2 for something and it's worth $1. But when you hear $2 and it's a $100 stock, you say, well, it sounds cheap, but it's not. The boot camp will teach you. It's a 6-hour comprehensive boot camp. I mean, I can ask any of you guys. If anyone's going to come back to me and say, listen, I feel like I wasted 6 hours or I wasted this subscription, we haven't had that. That boot camp was a home run, teaching people how to read options, teaching them how to price them. So if you're going to trade options, know what you're doing. We haven't been trading them because if we're a buyer of options, there's nothing cheap right now. That's why we're not trading options right now. We wait for them to get in mind. Keep that in mind.
So guys, if you're interested in our membership, you can head over to our link, our website. You can click on this. All right. Our website is www.rntr.trading. Okay. You can sign up for our Discord. You'll have live questions with Joe, trade alerts, both equities, futures, and some options. And you also have our webinars and our midday clips. All right. So let's go over to some stocks. Guys, if you have any questions on this, is the bootcamp a separate option to choose? Yes, the bootcamp's separate.
It is.
You'll click at the link at the top of our profile. Yeah, that's fine.
From here?
Yep. If you click the link at the top of our profile, you'll see the options bootcamp and a chart analysis bootcamp.
Joseph, guys, the option bootcamp, I just think it was part of the part of our teaching process. It's incredible. I didn't realize how people do not know about options. They understand options. They don't understand pricing. And think about it. Anything you do in your life, you should know what it's worth before you get involved. People get involved and then don't know what it's worth. And then they find out the hard way. And I show you ways in the boot camp to see if you did something wrong. If you see something work your way and you should say, well, I should be getting paid this and you don't, means you priced it wrong getting in. You'd be saving a lot of money, a lot of money. You trade, if you're asking, it means you trade options. You look yourself in the mirror. How much am I making in options? And then also look yourself in the mirror and say, am I getting paid properly when I'm right? Because when you're wrong, it just expires. Okay, that's usually what people do. They don't trade around too much. But when you're right, you get paid properly. And if you're not, it's not the options fault. It's your fault because you didn't get in properly. If you get in properly, then you get paid properly. We've had options on. We traded a few last year. We had a 5-bagger. Beginning of last year, we had a 10-bagger. Why? Because we priced them properly. But the boot camp, I guess, is working. You got to dedicate 6 hours to learn it inside out. I'll tell you one thing: you will be the better option trader than anyone around you if you understand the boot camp.
Okay, so we have comments here. I knew the mechanics of options before taking the course very well, but I didn't understand the pricing.
Yes.
That's from Melon and
That's
Harry.
exactly. You just said it better than I could have said. I've been talking for 5 minutes about it. You just said it better than me. You understand the mechanics, but you don't understand pricing. Big difference. Thank you very much. That was a great comment. I'm going to use that comment if you don't mind.
Okay, looks like we have a lot of repeats. But we have one person, I don't know if you follow this stock, but a person's asking about BTU.
BT, of course we do. Oh
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah.
Let's go ahead and review that.
We were in this sector. We were in it. And you know what? We were, like I said, so far January's been going okay. I think we've, in my opinion, I was just going over, broadly, we have about 35 positions. We've taken half off. We got about 3 or 4 that aren't working. BTU is one that isn't working, but I like it. I'm going to show you why. BTU is here. We like the coal sector, and we think this one extended into an area, but it's got to start to perform. Okay, well, it's got to start to perform. We got to find it. See what BTU is anyway.
I think it's up here. You have to put it.
But we have it on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's one that we like. It's one that actually made us sweat a little bit, and it held, so it made us confident. But it's got to start to work right away. It's okay. We at $20 it looked very attractive. It got down to 18.
There it is.
You see
Bottom
it?
right. Next
Boy.
MOS.
See, you guys with good eyesight. We got in BTU around here because this is what we were waiting for. We thought it was, and then we got it. Did a lot of work. Now because I sweated it a little more. We were actually very close to stopping out because, you know what I say? I always want to be able to explain when I make money and lose money. Down here, I couldn't explain why I would be losing, so I almost cut the position. And then it bounced well, and we got the line, and now it's doing work, but it can't get back down around here. But if BTUs does work, they should snap big time. Okay, and that's going to be a little more. It's going to be weather sensitive. It's also going to be. It could be China or that part of the world sensitive too. So if you have reasons for the coal sector to go, this one should be the leader.
Okay, so we covered PLTR.
First time we ever said sell. Think about that. Since in months. And when you say sell, we just said cash some in.
Let me see what else we have here because we have a lot of repeats we already covered. We covered AMD.
Mm-hmm.
We covered silver. So, guys, if you missed these analysis and you want to stay up to date with them, go ahead and look at our subscription for our Discord. You'll stay up to date with all these stocks that Joe's looking at. If you're in the subscription, every day you'll get alerts on your phone if you have any questions on these stocks. And you have access to ask him questions every day.
Everything that we're going over now, we're going over in broad strokes. If you're a member and you belong to the group, we get in depth. So that what you're asking here, I'm giving you an overview. What do you think our opinion is? You belong to the group. Let me tell you something. It's very comprehensive. We dig deep in these things. Okay. And so far it's working. It's been working. You know what, guys? I mean, like we always say, the numbers talk. People have a good day, they have a bad day. And you know what? I don't know the good days and bad days. All I know is the end of the month, how'd you do? That's the way I look at things. Last year, how'd you do? Okay, last year was a good year for people who were bullish. The year before was a good year if you were bullish. Okay. People have back-to-back. The S&P is up over 20% 2 years in a row. Fantastic. People think it just keeps going. You know what? We made over 100% last year. Year before, we made it, I think it was in the 70s. This year, people are getting banged around a little bit. Even though the stock market feels like it's going higher, the ones that people I think are crowded aren't going higher. People, at best, might be even this year. We're up almost 25%. We're 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in. Why? Because the market is creating opportunities. That's all. We take advantage. Then when we see the opportunities go away, then we'll adjust our trading and go to the ones that we like. And then we'll find the ones that we love. And then more importantly, we'll find the ones to avoid. You know the way we look at things. There's 2 ways to make money. It's when you see money on the table, you can make it. Another way to make money is not to lose it back. Knowing when to step aside and avoid. That's what I think our edges are. We make it when other people do. When they're giving it back, we don't.
Okay, so we have Salvatore asking, I can't find the bots on my Discord. So Salvatore, if you checked getting the bots, access to the bots is a separate subscription.
Yes.
So if you want access to that, you can please email us or get in touch with us, send us a message, and we'll go ahead and give you access to that once you have the subscription. Mr. Somers asked about copper.
Copper, we've been trading around it and it's been working. We think copper on every extreme pullback is a buy. We don't think there's any home run here, but you could trade this range for a while, and we keep doing it, and it keeps working. Every time copper extends, we are not afraid of it. 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 You get a bounce. Get a bounce. We're going to keep doing that. And what do? Well, besides copper, we'll trade equities like FCX, TECK. That's one we had on 2 weeks ago. We bought TECK. Why? Because copper got down to an attractive area. Copper bounced, TECK bounced. What did we do? We sold out the TECK. Report FCX is one we got and one we may be adding on. But copper, we think on extreme pullbacks is still a buy. We don't think the copper story is going away.
Okay. It looks like we have a question. Looks like Palantir, I think.
PLTR,
Yes.
we said first time, guys, since November, since it was $40, we've said do not sell. This is the first time we're saying if you have it on and you've ridden this whole thing up, you may want to sell some out here. We think that it can pull back from here. First time in months that we've seen something that reversed a little. The way I read systems. So.
Okay. Well, it looks like we covered a lot of the questions.
Good.
We'll see you again Wednesday.
We'll be at Wednesday at 8:30, back next Saturday. Now, if you remember last Saturday, we put 2 things on your radar screen. We said, let's come back and see what happened. Well, let's go over them quick. Why? Because we've got a few things again. Okay, what did we say last Saturday? So we love what happened to the price of sugar. You guys ask me every once in a while. Put it out here. We said, if you come back next Saturday, which is today, there's a good shot sugar could be up here. Well, look at this. Went from here to here. Bang. That's a nice 1 week trade. If you look, it's one of our nicest trades in January. Move on. VLO, same thing. Pan American, same thing. What Pan American? Let's put that one on. That's one of the silver stocks we want to trade. Put it on, say we're going to get to our target. Come back a week later, we're at the target. Grab Pan American down here. So we're going to get to our target. Look at the target. You can't get any better than that. Sold it out. So this week we got a couple of those again. So if you want to belong to the group, we got to come. I'm looking down at mine right now. 1, 2. Yeah, we got 3 of them setting up this week. Just the same way sugar set up. Just the same way Pan American Silver set up. We got 2 or 3 of them right now that is setting up again. And we could be coming back here next Saturday and saying, wow, look what happened again. All right. The market is giving you trading opportunities now, not investing opportunities. You got to know the difference. And we think we're seeing the difference. When we see investing opportunities, we will trade differently. Right now, we're in the trading mode, not in investing mode. I'll see you guys next week.
Okay, we have a question.
Okay.
Someone wants to send us some questions about the subscription. So I'm going to put in the chat here our email.
And guys, keep this in mind. We are not here to brag. We're here to make money. Okay? That's the report card. You can say whatever you want. Listen, everybody's making videos and clips like this. And talk is cheap. You see how you did. And if you do it and you're comfortable doing it, then it's even easier. You want to put your money away in a mutual fund or everything. You had 2 nice years. Do you really think the market's going to be up another 25% this year after having 2 of those? I don't think so. I think the market's going to catch people in traps. So while they're getting caught in traps, if you could accumulate, and while people are scampering, that's our edge. And I think this year is going to be our edge because people are hypnotized over the last 2 years. And I think that's going to stick in their mind. By the time they realize that we're not going to have a 3rd year of this, they're going to be getting caught in traps. They're going to be pissing money away. And while we're doing that, they're going to create opportunities for us. That's all we're doing. I'm only showing you what's there. I'm showing you what I was taught, showing the way we take advantage of it. When we see that go away, we stop too. We make adjustments all the time. That's our edge. Okay. Like I said, we're not here to brag. We're here to make money. That's what we're all looking to do. We're all looking to make money. There's no trophies here. Trophies don't pay any bills. Okay. Making money pays bills.
Okay. So we have someone asking, what's the email? So the email, I put it in the comment section here. Someone asking AME. It's risk of not taking risk at gmail.com. That's our email. You'll see it in the comment section here. And our website is www.rntr.trading. You guys have any questions, send us an email, go to our website. If you want access to our Discord, you have the link at the top of our profile page where you can find our website, Discord, and courses. Okay. You guys have any questions, send us an email. Okay. We'll get back to you.
Mm-hmm. We have a great team behind us. They get back to you fast.
All right, guys. You take care.
Enjoy your weekend.